What's up, y'all? It's Will from Brews Breaks back with our Week 1 NFL recap as well as our Week 2 predictions and some sneaky card plays. Grab you something to something to sip on. Can't talk today. I got my I Love You Dad mug that my daughter got me for Father's Day this year. Shout out to all the dads who like to collect, like to game, and like to be 1% better every day. You know who you are. Let's get some sipping, let's get some ripping, and let's get into it. First off, I want to start by saying I went 10-6. It's not awful, right? That's not the worst thing that could happen. I had some contrarian picks, number one being the Giants. I just thought that if they were going to if they were going to get the Commanders, maybe week one with that front seven, dynamic pass rush. But I mean, Russell Wilson just couldn't do jack, and that's typical. Can't wait for Jackson Dart to be the quarterback there to actually like make. I hate the Giants, but to make them a team. And then I thought the Texans were going to pull it off, but their defense just clearly has to figure some stuff out, which was kind of crazy to me. Their offense clearly has to figure some stuff out as well. That was kind of wild, but I picked the Jags to win. I picked the Eagles. I picked the Chargers. I think they're going to win that division. The Pats was one that it's amazing. Josh McDaniels just conservative in the second half and not having Gonzo there, who's arguably a top 3 cornerback when healthy. It's amazing how not having him there allowed Mike Mayer and Brock Bowers to just be open for 20-yard receptions every single time they caught the freaking ball. I mean, it's amazing how one player can change everything and the dynamic in that defense, specifically that defense. And then, what was the other one? I picked the Bears. That was a crazy game. So they lost. I picked the Ravens. That was one of the craziest games I've seen. 81 points. Like, who had that on their bingo card? Right. Great game. Could have gone either way. But overall, like 10-6, I'm not mad about it. For week 2, we're going to get to that in a minute. But let me show you something that I'm actually putting together that can help maybe predict some card plays associated with fantasy production in the near future. First off, if you like what you see or you like some of the things that we have, please like and subscribe. Click that little bell button that'll alert you when we go live with new things. I'm trying to put out 1 to 2 videos a week that's going to have all kinds of stuff with it. Card plays, fantasy football, basketball, the whole nine. But if you like this, please like, comment, subscribe below. Let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, please ask. Now, just to lead into this, I wanted to see if there was a true correlation between fantasy output and card sales. So first thing I did is I went to fantasypros.com and I grabbed their top 100 list of players. And I broke it out by some of the best players by week 1 matchup. And if you go, you can go starter sit and it'll tell you to give you the stars, right? 1 star is a well below average fantasy prediction. This, if you don't know. 2 stars is below average, 3 stars is about average, 4 stars above average, and 5 stars is well above average for fantasy projections for the week against that defense. And I relied heavily on what matters in cards, right? Quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends. And I just kind of took that list, built it out based on strength of schedule from there. Then I took those cards and I went into market movers, and spoiler alert, working on something big. So definitely follow along because we're about to revolutionize the hobby. I want to throw that out there. But I went in and I wanted to see by volume percent change in the last 7 days, the card that has hit the highest for sales for each one of these players. So as you can see here, number 1, Joe Burrow, 2020 select field level neon green die cut, in a PSA 10, 1,000% change with 11 sales. This is in 7 days, so from 9/2 to 9/9. Starting price $138, last sale $138, so there hasn't been a price change really. From there, we're seeing the week 1 opponent, their week 1 matchup projections listed based on fantasypros.com, what their projected fantasy points were, what their actual fantasy points were, as we can see Joe Burrow sucked a fatty, the overall delta between the two of those. This is a correlation. So this is correlating their overall fantasy points with their volume projection and price. And then if there's a correlation. So right now, because there was no price change, and this is just week 1, there's no actual correlation. But just to see what and you can pause it here to really get a look. But Malik Neighbors, Mosaic Stained Glass, Caleb Williams, Donruss Optic Preview, Red Pandora Rated Rookie, which I love that card. That's like one of my favorite Optic cards. This is basically from market movers. This is everything that there is, and this is what I'm tracking. I'm going to track these week over week and look at the 7-day sales cycle. So the next 7-day sales cycle will essentially be from 9/10 to 9/17 after week 2. And I'm going to also, as you can see, we're going to find out what their price change is now on the same exact card in comparison to their matchup projections, what their actual fantasy points are. That'll show me the delta, and then it'll also show me their correlation scores. The market signal from there, which we're also devising, is puts the correlation, and I'll put it here. So if the volume is greater than 200%, but the price is flat or down, the market confidence is a long-term hold or a dip in the buying. The volume is up, but the price is up, there's a hype surge, so people are just buying the hype. If the volume is flat, but the price is up, it's probably a low supply volume pump. So this is just something ChatGPT has helped me create, this cute little algorithm here, right? And I got some nice conditional formatting. But again, this is not just player specific. This is player card specific based on volume of sales and price percentage increase. So now let's get into what we're going to look at moving forward. All right, first off, I'm going to grab some coffee and we're going to get into week 2. So I'm not going to do too many contrarian picks this week. And I don't know why my camera's doing the whole autofocus craziness. I'm not moving that much. Apologies. So I want to see what kind of win-loss record I can get for this week. Commanders Packers, week 1 Thursday. Don't like betting Thursday games. Short week games are crazy. That being said, I didn't have a lot of faith in Debo coming into this season. As much as I like Debo, the injuries, like whatnot, just didn't see that happening for them. I don't see them going into the Packers and beating the Packers. I mean, Christian Watson went out with, I believe it was an ACL last year. He's on the pup list. Jaden Reed said, hold my freaking beer, popped off. Matthew Golden dealing with an ankle injury, and he's a rookie, but he will be wide receiver 1 before the end of the season. Josh Jacobs is a dominant beast. Packers. Got to take the Packers. And I want to say right now, this is all win-loss. This has nothing to do with spreads or anything like that. Browns Ravens. I'd take the points on this one too. The Ravens are going to smack them. The Browns have nothing to stop the Ravens. And I mean, last year they used 2 weapons. They used Derrick Henry, unfortunate fumble, and they used Zay Flowers. They didn't use Likely, Andrews, Tez Walker. I mean, D-Hop caught, a couple balls? But sorry. Wait till they unleash Tez Walker. Mark my words, this year he's going to make some noise. Ravens taking that all day. Jags Bengals. The Bengals defense is awful. If you haven't seen it, I did a pre-season video. You can catch it there. 17 points is not going to cut it in the NFL. I'm a Pats fan. I know. Last couple seasons, 17 points is not going to cut it. They're going to need to put up insane amounts of points this week. And I know people are going to dog on the Panthers, but they have a remarkably better offense this year. And the Jaguars smothered them, confused Bryce Young. I mean, which kind of sucked because I went in pretty heavy on Bryce Young in the off season. But I also went in pretty heavy on T-Law. I don't think that the Bengals defense will be able to stop the Jaguars offense. And I think the Jaguars are going to go into Cincinnati and take this one. Side note, hate that the Jaguars traded Tank Bigsby to the Eagles. I went in heavy on him too. That sucks. They just buried him behind Saquon. I'm not hoping for an injury, but I hope that they find a way to utilize him when my card market doesn't fall apart. Like the worst place besides the Ravens that they could have freaking sent him. Side note over. Giants Cowboys, taking the Cowboys. It's the CeeDee Lamb popped off. George Pickens wasn't even utilized the way he could have been. And Javonte Williams, this up just before the season. Oh, there we go. Yeah, boom. I have a lot of faith in a healthy Javonte Williams. I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to win the division or anything like that. And there goes my camera again. I am going to say that they're going to win this game. Bears Lions. Taking the Bears. The Bears blew it last week. Caleb Williams blew it last week. And I feel like that might be his MO. What we're going to see today. Ben Johnson clearly took his OC into a head coach role. And I mean, Rome Odunze was ridiculous. DJ Moore got cracked. Surprised he survived that last that catch at the end of the game. It was a drop, I think, right? The guy's shoulder went into his solar plexus and popped the ball out and destroyed his ribcage. The worst part about the Bears is they don't have a run game. That would have been somebody to trade Tank Bigsby to. And I love Jahmyr Gibbs and I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think they're probably gonna split this year. The Lions just looked like trash last week. And I think the Bears take this one. Patriots, Dolphins. Tua is trash. Tyreek is still, one of the fastest guys in the NFL. But all that being said, their locker room is an absolute nightmare right now. And I think McDaniels might have lost it. I think the Pats correct the ship. It's a get-right game for Miami, but I really think that they're going to unleash Henderson on the Pats. And I think we might even see a little bit of Efton Chisholm, which could be like a Danny Amendola reincarnate. I'm not going to say he is or anything like that, but I'm hoping. I think this is going to be a rare occasion the Pats go down to Miami and win. 49ers, Saints. Again, Saints are like the Browns. I think the Saints, Browns, and the Titans are all going to battle for the first pick. The Titans need it to trade it for a boatload of picks to reinforce their offense. Their defense is good. Their offense needs more help. It needs something. It needs a running back. I don't believe in Pollard. But anyway, digress. I'm taking the 49ers. The Saints, Spencer Rattler hasn't won a game as a quarterback yet. I believe in Spencer Rattler. I don't believe in the system, not the way it's built right now. I think the Saints they have a long way to go. So 49ers are going to go into New Orleans, just crack them. Also, mark my words, CMC is not going to finish the season. I think he's going to go out injured. Bills, Jets, Bills. I knew Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson, reconnecting them from college, I knew that was going to be huge. I didn't see Brees Hall going off for over 100 against the Steelers, though. That was wild. I think this might be a shootout. I think this might be a higher scoring game than people are leading it to believe. I'm taking the Bills, but I would take the over. This is one of those rare occasions where I think there's something else going on there. Steelers, Seahawks. The Steelers defense cannot be as bad as it was last week. DK's going against his old team. Aaron Rodgers, somehow, he must be on TRT or something like that, dude. Ridiculous, popping off of 4 tutties. He hasn't done that in forever. I like JSN. I like Torrey Horton, Cooper Kupp. I think their O-line is not that good over on Seattle side, and I think they're going to get after him, especially now that Cam Hayward needed a little bit of extra money. Oh, I don't have enough money. He made $145 million in his career, but whatever. I'm taking the Steelers. Rams, Titans. Titans confused the hell out of Bo Nix. Matthew Stafford is better than Bo Nix. Matthew Stafford has Devonta Adams. Matthew Stafford has Puka Nacua. Yeah, you know where this is going. Taking the Rams. Panthers, Cardinals. Everyone's picking the Cardinals. James Conner will have a better rest of the season than he did. He got stifled week 1, which is weird. He's a touchdown machine, and he's healthy. This is a get-right game for the Panthers. I think that they're going to put, I forget the cornerback for the Cardinals, forget his name, but they're going to put him on Tet, which is going to have, I think this is going to be a big Leggett game. Maybe even Hunter Renfrow just picked up a nice rookie auto of his 10-10. But I think the Panthers, it's a get-right game for them. This is one that they should go in and they should beat the Cardinals. It'll be a high-scoring game because the Cardinals will put up some points and the Panthers' defense is not good, but I think the Panthers take this. I guess that would be my one real contrarian pick. Broncos, Colts. Ooh, boy. That Broncos defense is the best in the league, hands down, and I think it's going to remain that way outside of some weird injury. Daniel Jones looks like the next coming of Peyton Manning at this point, the way he was playing. I expect a decent game out of Adonai Mitchell and Tyler Warren. I expect the Broncos to beat the Colts. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Under 42. I would say under 40. But we'll see. Eagles, Chiefs. Ooh. Speedy McGee got suspended. I'm going to say the Eagles only because the Chiefs defense ain't great and the Chiefs have no running game. They like to think they have a running game. They don't use it. I think we could see a pretty decent game from AJ Brown. And I think that the Eagles are going to squeak out a tight one. Falcons, Vikings. I like the Falcons. I like Penix. I like the Penix London connection. That Vikings defense, though. And JJ McCarthy sorted his shit out in the second half of that game against the Bears. I think the Vikings take this one at home in a tight one, really tight one. Could be a field goal. Bucks, Texans. I just like the Bucks. I think the Bucks are going to win that division. I think Baker Mayfield has a potential to be an MVP this year. I put money on it, not a lot, but a little. Texans, they still got some stuff to figure out. While I think the Texans should run away with that division based on the talent on paper, they need to put that together. So for this one, Bucks, Texans. Later in the season, I might change my tune. Chargers, Raiders, taking Chargers. I think the Chargers are winning that division this year. I think that their run game is going to be too much for most teams to handle. Their defense is top 5. And Herbert just looks probably the most comfortable he's ever looked in the NFL. That's a sneaky play right there. Not a sneaky play as far as this week. I just think for the season is Chargers to win that division. And I have some money on that one too. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you think. I know this is kind of crazy. If you have any questions like about, especially about the spreadsheet and stuff like that, let me know. It is building to be something a lot better and bigger later down the road. And like I said, we are developing some stuff with another company where we're about to revolutionize the hobby. So stay tuned, hit the alert button, keep your eyes out for some stuff I have coming in the future. But until next time, go Pats. Keep sipping and ripping.